Kaitlin.
And I'm Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast,
where two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
We're back.
Yes. Episode 5, episode 6.
Strong Girl Bong Soon.
Mm-hmm. They were good.
AKA Strong Woman.
Strong Woman.
To Bong Soon.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, it's really picking up. There are still a lot of like side characters where we're kind of like, why though? Mm-hmm. Why do you need to be here?
And just like a lot of little stories that are coming in and out of the frame, and
yeah, but
a lot happening.
Yeah, we've got a good like main love triangle and main like serial kidnapper thing going.
Yes.
So it's really what matters at this moment. So yeah, it's a lot. It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start?
Yes.
Okay.
I labeled them this time.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's what that little J is for.
I remember to do it.
Awesome.
Okay, so episode 5 is titled, Seems as if they're friends, and yet not.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. The criminal at large seems to be attacking only certain people. Thin girls.
Body shamer.
Yeah, he only wants the thin ones. He's got a type. Concerned, that wasn't in there. No. Concerned for Bong Soon's safety, Min Hyuk and Guk-do clash over how to protect her. That's the start of that little love triangle.
Mm-hmm.
So episode 5 begins where 4 left off. Bong Soon realizes she bumped into the kidnapper, and I was really pumped about this when it ended last time. Like, oh shit, she's gonna like go after him. But she bumped into him, and she tried to find him, but couldn't.
Yeah, it's like in a big crowd in the subway.
By the time she realized what had happened, he was already too far away, I guess.
Yeah.
And then while she's on the subway, she notices that she smelled rusty iron and oil on him, which is kind of gross.
Yeah.
And then she realizes that she may be able to use her powers for good and breaks a pervert's fingers on the subway, who's just like straight up grabbing a girl's butt.
Yeah. Not
very inappropriate.
Not cool.
No.
I did not experience any of that while riding the subway.
That's good. I'm glad.
But maybe people were like, she's
American.
Yeah.
I can tell.
I don't know. But yeah, thankfully no one touched me.
That's good. Were they really packed like that?
Sometimes. When we, on Friday afternoon, it was like kind of rush hour. I think people were going home. And we had our big suitcases. And it was kind of stressful, but the thing is, like, no one really gives a shit. Like, it's just always... And I think a lot of people bring suitcases on the subway, like, because the subway is one of the main forms of transportation. Because when we were there, when we rode it, we saw other people with, like, large suitcases, too. So that wasn't a big deal or anything. But, yeah, it was just, like, you're, like, shoulder to shoulder with people, and it's fine. No one really cares.
Except for you.
Yeah, I was like... It's okay. But I think just seeing that no one else was, like, felt panicked kind of calmed me a little bit. Because I'm like, everyone else is fine. I guess I'm fine, too. But anyway. So, Min Hyuk interrupts Bong Soon as she's daydreaming about being a hero while looking at a big print of a video game character.
I was like, Bong Soon, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
That's you, though.
I know.
You don't need to daydream about it. Like... You're her.
Just be it, girl. Just live it. Live your life. I like how Min Hyuk is just kind of like stands behind her, like, what are you doing? But also, like, he's proud because he created that. So that's cool. Just to recap, this is the day after the whole partying night. So where Bong Soon was like, I'm going to tear your butt off if you touch Guk-do. So there's still a little bit of like tension. And he takes her to get hangover soup.
Mostly with her. He doesn't seem to mind as much. He's kind of playing it cool.
Yeah, he is at this point. He's playing it cool. Because, again, in episode... We're on 5? Episode 4, he was like, don't worry. But, like, he didn't mention the previous night's antics at all. And he was like, take your time getting to work, blah, 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 being sweet to her. So we're still kind of on that high, I guess, of him being nice to her. So he takes her to breakfast, and then he notices the emergency bracelet and gets a little jealous. Like, doesn't he make a comment about, like, I think he could do more for you than give you a bracelet?
Yeah, as an officer.
Yeah. He's always, like, throwing shade at the police. Specifically Guk-do.
Yeah, he's not a fan.
Yeah. So she tells Min Hyuk about how she thinks she saw the kidnapper on the way to work, and he gets worried. And I love how he suggests that he hire a third person to protect both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's just getting so complicated with who's protecting who and when and where.
Yeah, I just thought that was really funny but then she like immediately like, no, I'm gonna protect you.
Mm-hmm.
And he like feels pretty good about that. Yeah, so I like how it's a role reversal.
Yes, instead of him protecting her.
Because when she says, don't worry, I'll protect you, he looks like so smitten. Like, okay.
Protect me.
Yeah. So back at the office, Min-hyuk has set up a little desk house thing.
It's like a kid's desk.
Yeah.
Like a kid's little playhouse.
Yeah. It's really cute, though. And I like how she can just lean in. Yeah. She's so tiny. So at her little desk house, he tells Bong Soon when they're just in the office, she can work there and study English because she's not good at her English phrases. So then we see Min-hyuk actually working, like doing his
real
job, not just buying clothes and stuff, which makes Bong Soon like really interested because I think before he was kind of like a one-dimensional rich kid,
just did whatever he wanted.
Yeah. But now he, like, actually does a job and seems to be pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And his, like, employees seem to really like him and respect him. So I think this is kind of like, okay, an eye-opener.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Back at the cafe, Bong Soon's mom and her friends, who are always together, it seems, they're talking about the new kidnapped victim. And they're worried about Bong Soon since she's also so skinny and small. But then one of the employees sees a video of Bong Soon from the night before, because as we remember, everyone had a camera on her. Everyone's phones were up in the air. And so it's just the video of her, like, holding the pole and looking really confused and upset. And it's such a silly video.
Yeah.
But her mom, like, flips shit. She calls Bong Soon at work and yells at her for being careless. And then Bong Soon realizes what happened, sees the videos, and she gets super embarrassed. She's hiding under her desk, and she's just fucking mortified.
Yeah.
That she was, like, out of control, showing her strength, and just looked like a damn fool.
Yeah.
At this club, like.
And then she's like, don't look at me.
She looks so sloppy. It's so bad.
It's really bad. It would be bad even if she wasn't holding the pole.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's just, like, cradling this basically like stripper
Huge
pole.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Min-hyuk finds her and teases her a little bit and asks for her autograph. But ultimately he gives her some time to stay under the desk, and it's just a sweet little moment between them. I think he's just kind of, again, being really kind to her.
Yeah. In
this moment. He knows what a fool she was the night before more than she probably realizes. So I appreciate that he's kind of letting her slide a little bit.
Yeah.
Some slight jokes here and there, but overall, like...
He seems to really care for her and, like, knows how far to, like, take jokes. Like, hey... Because I like how he, like, knocks on her little house, like, are you there?
That's so stupid.
Oh, you're that girl from the video. Can I have your autograph? But, yeah, it's really sweet, I think.
It then cuts to other people that she knows or that she's, like, come in contact with who are watching the video. So you have, like, the school kids that she kind of picked on and beat up who are in love with her now, freaking out about it. And then we also have the old, like, boss men, whatever the fuck those mobsters are, in the hospital still. They still haven't left, freaking out because there she is again, showing her strength. And then while all that's happening, Secretary Gong comes back to work, the one who got his tailbone busted up because of her. And he tells Min-hyuk that he felt like he needed to come back. And he also tells Min-hyuk that there are quite a few people in the hospital that Bong Soon hurt way worse, so he's okay. And then he starts, like, kind of shit-talking her, and he doesn't know she's hiding under the little house desk at this point. And he's basically saying, like, there's a lot of rumors that she might be a North Korean spy, or maybe she's an alien, or just, like, all kinds of crazy bullshit. And she slowly, like, comes up from under her desk.
Like, the fuck?
And just stands there staring at him. And then he sees her and freaks out, absolutely fucking terrified of her. And while he was saying that, Min-hyuk was trying to, like, warn him, like, dude, she's here. It's just a really uncomfortable position. Like, you're talking shit about somebody, and then you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Right there. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Crickets.
not fun. Yeah. Have you ever accidentally, like, sent a text to someone, like, complaining about someone? You're like, oh, fuck, I sent it to that person.
I don't think I've ever done that, but I think I've been shit-talking people, and they, like, walk in.
Nice.
So I just, like, I've told myself in the past, like, I don't think they heard, and even if they heard, it's fine. Like, they heard what they needed to hear.
Yeah.
But
I sent a text once. Not with the person's name, but it was, like, obvious. Like,
and they were, like, was it, like, a group text?
No,
Okay.
like, I was sending it to a friend privately.
Uh-huh.
But it was just, like, it was on older phones, too. It wasn't, like, an iPhone thing. But even on, like, iPhones and Androids, like, I still almost accidentally text people. Just, like, I'll text you accidentally when I mean to text Andrew.
Yeah.
Because Andrew's always the first one on my list.
Yeah, same.
And so sometimes when he's not, I'm just like, boop, I'm like, oh, shit, that was Kaitlin.
That's why I texted you that one time when I was, like, donating the plasma.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I was like, because you were just like, what the fuck? And I was like,
what happened?
Oh, that was for Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, so that happened, and I didn't, like, name names, but it was obvious I was talking about that person. Like, well, yeah, I said it. Can't deny that anymore. Fuck.
Yeah.
Embarrassing moments, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. Gong is like, oh shit. And Min-hyuk looks, like, really conflicted as to, like, if he should take sides or what is even happening. So, to, like, break the ice, I guess, he tells Bong Soon, like, hey, why don't you go help Mr. Gong get, like, settled and tell him, like, what we've been up to. Get him up to speed on work stuff. So, they leave together, and Bong Soon still looks pretty, like, depressed. Like, man,
she's having a bad day.
Yeah, like, this video is online, and
Mom yelled at me.
My mom yelled at me, and fucking Mr. Gong was talking shit. So, not great.
I don't know English very well.
Mm-hmm. So, as they leave the room, Min-hyuk makes a call to get the video deleted, which I also am kind of like, is that kind of weird, controlling, like...
He's got some major power, it seems, yeah.
It's a little intense. And then he calls Gukdu and tells him that Bong Soon ran into the kidnapper that morning and how she heard his voice. So basically he's, like, getting after Gukdu because he's like, this is what this girl's dealing with. Like,
and he just gave her a fucking bracelet.
Yeah, it's kind of intense, but, like, presumably that was only a few hours ago, so, like, how is Gukdu to know?
Yeah.
But I also kind of feel like maybe he's telling Gukdu to, like, rub it in his face, like, Bong Soon told me this.
Mm-hmm, before she told you,
and I'm concerned for her safety, kind of a thing. So, anyway, he tells Gukdu, like, I'll protect her at work, but she needs to be protected outside, and then Gukdu gets, like, pissed off, and he storms out of his office thing. So the police officers go over some more evidence, but it kind of seems like they're just running into dead ends at this point. Like, the evidence trails stop. Like, there are burner cell phones, and, like, cars disappear, and it's just, like, not an ideal investigation. So Bong Soon briefs Mr. Gong on what happened while he was away, but she mostly just, like, makes passive-aggressive threats to him and badmouths Min-hyuk, saying all he does is play, like... Because I think she says something along the lines that... Or he says something like, oh, it was wrong of me to, like... It was pretty petty of me to talk behind your back. Like, I'm sorry. And she's like, you don't need to apologize for anything. She was like, and technically you didn't talk behind my back because I was right there. And, like, I don't know how she threatens him, but it's kind of like...
I think she just makes, like, cutesy little remarks. That are almost like, I could kick your ass.
Yeah,
sort of thing. I don't remember what specifically she says.
Yeah, but he looks scared. And so, yeah, Bong Soon is like, also, I don't even know why the fuck I'm here, because, like, all Min-hyuk does is eat and play. So...
Sounds like a great job.
I know.
Honestly.
So, back in the office, like, I think Min-hyuk calls her back, like, are you just shit-talking me? And she's like, oh, God. So
Did you hear me? Yeah.
So she comes back into his office, and she falls asleep at her desk. And we see Min-hyuk remember what happened the night before and how sweet he was to her while she was drunk and sad with the pole. Like, he's so caring.
Mm-hmm.
Or he cares a lot about her, I guess I should say.
Yeah. And then it's like, why are you so mean to him? Because he hasn't really done anything mean to her. He picks on her.
Yeah, he does pick on her. But, like, I'd rather have someone kind of, like, pick on me rather than fucking Gukdu yell at me.
Constantly,
yeah. And, like, Min-hyuk is kind of, like, a cocky dick. But he's shown, like... Okay, how should I say this? He hasn't shown that it's, like, malicious in any way.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, like, him being a little bit bratty... But he's also, like, really sweet. So I don't know. I don't know what her deal is. But anyway.
She's all hung up on Gukdu.
Uh-huh.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So we get another classic K-drama shot. It's, okay, so cleaning wounds is one. This is the other one. We get a shot of the male lead almost touching the female lead's hair while she's asleep. Like, gonna brush.
That's a caress.
Yeah, about to brush, like, her bangs away or something. And he's, like, right about to do it, and then Gukdu comes barging in, and Min-hyuk, like, tries to, like, shush him, since Bong Soon is asleep, but he yells her name, like a freaking drill sergeant, and Min-hyuk's like, okay, well, fuck you. Like,
that's done.
Yeah, because it is really... Oh, she's sleeping. It's peaceful. And then Gukdu's like, Bong Soon! Like,
jarring.
Fuck, dude.
It's like getting yelled at in the morning by your parents to get up.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
My mom would, like, sweetly wake me up twice when I was a little kid. Like, okay, time to get up. It's really time to get up. And then if I wasn't up by the third time, my mom would go, Kaitlin, Ray, get up!
I feel like that's just how my mom always woke me up, honestly.
What are you still doing in bed?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Gukdu yells at Bong Soon for not telling him about the investigation. And then Min-hyuk asks him about witness protection for her. Because, as we all know, this guy has seen her face on more than one occasion. Everyone's freaking out about it. Gukdu says he's working on it, and the two guys fight over who will take Bong Soon home. Bong Soon breaks the ice by telling them not to fight over her, which makes the boys kind of backtrack, and they're just like, okay, well then you can take her.
Yeah.
No, it's okay, you take her. And there's that whole, like, back and forth thing. So first they're fighting over her, then they're fighting for each other to take her.
Yeah.
Really silly moment. Min-hyuk ends up driving Bong Soon home and teases her about how Gukdu must be super busy and how they've switched roles, and it seems like he's protecting her more now.
It's so funny to think, like, oh yeah, she's his bodyguard.
Yeah.
Because in no way has she acted like his bodyguard yet.
No. She carried him
true.
When he got shot, but she didn't, like, protect him when he got shot.
No. Again, he was holding her when he got shot, and she couldn't go into the restroom with him when he almost got stabbed, but the person stabbed that detective.
And she should have stayed there, but she ran off because she thought that other guy was suspicious.
Yeah.
Whereas she could have caught the guy that stabbed him. And I don't know.
Yeah.
She's been a pretty bad bodyguard as of yet. If that makes sense.
Yes.
As of yet? As of, I don't know.
We'll go with it.
Whatever. I don't think that's right.
As of yet.
Gukdu finds the kidnapper's car on a surveillance footage. And the detectives go where the security camera is, but like you said earlier, it leads to just, like, a random scrapyard. And they kind of look around, but they can't find anything. There's an employee that's working there, but he's not really helpful. And he also seemed kind of suspicious.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it might have just been the angle, or, like, he was suspicious of them for asking questions. Maybe he does shady car dealings.
Yeah, he has a shady air about him.
Yeah, like, the camera lingered on him. He was, like, hunched over looking at them. Like, it just seemed weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird moment.
Also, like, I think we're just conditioned to be wary of people who work in junkyards.
Yeah, or untrusting of just, like, anyone.
Yes.
At this point, trust no one.
I'm only trusting tall, good-looking Korean men, but
who
not
work
the ones
in gaming.
Yeah,
companies.
but not the ones who wear suits, because the people who wear suits are probably, like, dicks. AKA, like, the chairman from...
The chairman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, if he wears, like, a cool, like, jeans and a sweatshirt.
And if he's, riding a fucking hoverboard.
Yeah.
He's probably cool and trustworthy.
Or, like, what's his face from Romance is a Bonus book. He just wore big sweatshirts and wrote books.
I can't think of his name, and also because we were wrong the whole time.
Oh, Unho.
Unho.
Anyway. So back at the cafe, Minhyuk and Bong Soon are there buying pies.
Yum.
And Bong Soon's mom gives them to Minhyuk for free because she says he's like family to her. And he feels very uncomfortable by this. It's funny, like, how intimidated he is by her mom.
I would be intimidated by her, too, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
She's very overbearing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But it's just funny because, like, basically in all other situations, like, he's so confident and cocky, but she, like, throws him off.
I think
so
she just stares at him so much, too.
Yeah.
She stares at him so much, and she's got this weird smile.
Mm-hmm. Like, marry my daughter.
Yeah.
Please.
Go bone my daughter, please.
So... I'm just reading the next line. So, it's really awkward because she mentions, like, to Minhyuk, like, don't eat too many too fast because you'll get diarrhea. And
why?
I don't know.
That's a why, though.
Why, though?
Why?
The show mentions poop so much.
Yeah. Why would you tell a customer that who's buying your fucking pies, that the pies that you guys make and sell cause diarrhea?
Oh, only if you eat too many.
And why would you say that to the guy that you want to, like, marry your daughter?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either, but...
It's not good conversation.
No.
In a bakery. That's all I'm going to say.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
If it's going to cause diarrhea, let him figure that out on his own. And figure out then how much he should or should not eat on his own.
Also, look at him. He's like a twig.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't eat that many pies.
That's true, yeah. Especially because he says he only eats one meal a day.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably has the one big meal, and then he'll maybe have, like, a snack of pie between.
He's doing that intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm. He stays so thin.
Mm-hmm. So Guptu's girlfriend goes back to the hospital
Mm-hmm.
and asks for Bonki.
Mm-hmm.
Bonki is treating the gangsters. And here's how they want to get revenge on Bong Soon and how they have a bunch of intel on her and the family.
Except for him, apparently.
And, well, yeah, they're like, her brother works at the hospital. Like, he's just, like, rapping the dude's So, yeah, Bonki gets upset and wraps up, like, the gross dude who's missing teeth.
Yeah, the skinny guy.
His whole face. And I love how...
Don't like him.
Yeah, one of the guys tells Bonki, you've turned him into a mummy. Because he's, like, just full of bandage. So then Bonki runs into Guptu's girlfriend. I finally wrote down her name, Hee-ji. And she tries to make plans to see Bonki again. And then, side note, did you see the nurses giving her side-eye in the background?
Mm-hmm. They know something's up.
Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, bitch.
That's our doctor.
Yeah, either that's our doctor or I heard you had a I heard you had a boyfriend. Like, what's going on here? So, yeah, they keep flirting a bit. It's kind of... They are very much like, we're about to start dating.
Mm-hmm.
But not. I don't know. It's cute, but also inappropriate.
A little uncomfortable.
Yeah. So then it gets, like, really awkward when Hee-ji gets a text from Guptu.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, bye. My boyfriend.
Deuces. Back at home, Bong Soon is trying to find those videos of her at the club again. I don't know why she keeps trying to look at them.
Mm-hmm.
But she realizes they're all gone. What happened to them? She has no idea. And then Kyung Shim teases Bong Soon about how inconsistent her feelings are towards Minhyuk after Bong Soon talks shit about him and can't believe that he might be the one who had the video taken down. So she's kind of like, well, you keep changing your mind. Like, first you said you hated him, and then this morning you said he's not that bad, and now you're kind of talking shit about him again. you're weird. And also, like, I'm pretty sure he's not gay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, she's like, I think he took down that video for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's gay. Like, I saw him last night.
You don't remember. You're dumb and
you were not in a good place.
You don't know how to handle your alcohol. The girls decide to make stew, and whatever they were making, it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
I saw, like, there's a clip of part of it, I think, when Bong Soon is waiting for her.
Yeah, she's, like, cutting up chili peppers and... Yeah.
Yum. So they realize that they're missing something. Do you remember what
tofu?
Food they're missing? They're missing tofu. How are you missing tofu? And Kyung Shim decides to go to the grocery store to pick it up. And when she's walking home with the groceries, Bong Soon kind of realized, like, she's been taking forever. How long does it take to get some tofu? She tries calling her, can't get a hold of her. And then it cuts to the creepy kidnapper following behind her, and she's kind of running faster. He catches up with her, hits her on the head with a pipe, and starts beating her up. And it's, like, really sad, really ugly. Her phone's on the floor. She's trying to crawl to it. She can't get to it.
Yeah, because he's kicking her.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
So he's like, he has the pipe up in the air. He's about to hit her with it again. Probably the knockout hit. And then he can't move it. And it's because Bong Soon stepped in. She grabbed hold of the pipe. She bent the pipe around his hand and kicked him away, which was really badass.
It was really badass.
Yeah, your friend is on the floor, beaten up, but don't run to her. Run to him because he kidnapped those other girls, and your friend's okay.
Yeah, it's a little short-sighted.
Yeah, and I get that she, like, immediately goes to her friend to make sure she's okay, but, like, you don't know where those other girls are and if they're alive or not, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, we know they're alive. She doesn't, but
yeah,
the potential that they could be alive and you could be catching this guy who's been causing so much harm in your neighborhood. You have the strength. Like, she should have gone to him and fucking tied him up to something. And, like, knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that she can.
Yes.
In one hit.
Well, I think it's kind of a thing, too, that Bong Soon really isn't, like, the smartest person. But, yeah, it is kind of like, he was right there. And he was down for a bit. Because she, like, kicked him super hard. But... Yeah, it is. But then we probably wouldn't have more stuff.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any more story, basically. But yeah, I was like, fucking run after him! Like, screaming at the TV. And then we see that it kind of cuts to her friend at the hospital now. Like, she's crying, and then they end up at the hospital. And Bong Ki tells Bong Soon that she's going to be okay. She has fractured ribs and bruising and stuff, but she's fine. She's going to live. No big deal. In the long run. Yeah.
So back at the cafe, Bong Soon's mom is hosting a community meeting with even more old ladies. And this is, like, the 4th attempt at kidnapping. So, like, 1 murder, 2 kidnapped, and then a 4th attempt with Kyung Shim. So...
And all in that same area.
Yeah, understandably, like, people are freaking out because it's in one neighborhood. And they're like, okay, how are we gonna take care of this? Like, should we escort people? Like, whatever. Like, trying to come up with an action plan. But then they start talking about, like, who the kidnapper is targeting. Because they're like, well, let's just say any woman from, like, ages 17 to 40. And then they were like, well, he really only likes skinny girls. And... he might not know that, like, a 14-year-old or whatever, like, we shouldn't base it on age. We should base it on looks. And then, like, the chubby girls get upset. And I love how one of the ladies is like, he shouldn't be a kidnapper if he can't carry heavy women.
Oh, we've seen him, and he's, like, super skinny, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe he does appreciate a heavy woman, but yeah, it's harder
to carry him.
It's harder to, you know, throw them around and stuff. So
he'd probably take anyone, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, but any girl that he was able to.
In an earlier episode, he does say that he likes thin girls, because remember he's telling her because they can fit into wedding dresses.
That's right. Buy a bigger wedding dress, dude.
I know,
Come on. You only got size 2?
Sample sizes. So then, like, you know, all these old ladies are kind of, like, whatever, fighting, bickering. And then the creepy gang members, like the leader, comes in and he introduces himself, and it's like very aggressive and kind of weird. And he basically tells them, like, I'm the head of the reconstruction, which, if you remember from earlier episodes, Bong Soon's mom is against this. So there's already a little bit of tension, and he's like really awkward and, like I said, kind of aggressive and intense. But he tells all the ladies, like, you should support the reconstruction so we can make this neighborhood safe. But they're mostly just afraid of him. Like, some of the ladies are just turning away and kind of, like, cowering in fear. And then they leave, like, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it was just kind of like a PR move, I guess. Like, hey, I'm going to pop in and be like, you should support me. And also, like, we're going to make it safe, so don't worry about it.
We're going to fix your neighborhood.
And Bong Soon's dad says they're scarier than the kidnapper. So Bong Soon's mom, after they leave, she's like, don't listen to them. We got this. We'll start patrolling on our own.
And then Bong Soon, at that point, is staying with Kyung Shim in the hospital through the night, and then the next day the girls joke around with each other, but Kyung Shim thanks Bong Soon for saving her. That's nice of her. Bong Soon's mom comes in, and she's really sweet to Kyung Shim, but then immediately turns and gives Bong Soon a hard time for not catching the kidnapper and making Kyung Shim get the tofu the night before. Which, like, you don't really need to yell at her.
Yeah.
But also, again, like, you could have caught him.
Yeah, you're super strong. You should have gone to get the tofu.
Yeah, at night, knowing, like, what's been happening.
But I get it.
They weren't thinking. They were just hanging out.
Yeah.
And her friend was like, I'll go get it. No big deal, you know?
Also because, yeah, like, they're in their normal lives. Like, it wouldn't be a big deal to just, like, run to the store and get tofu. But yeah. But people have to go and ruin things.
Yeah. On the other side of things, the police are super frustrated because there's been another attack. So again, this is the fourth attack that's happened. But they're also confused as to why he ran away without taking her. Because in the past, like, he's killed her, he's killed the girl, or he's taken her with him. And in this case, she's alive, she's totally fine, basically, other than bruising and stuff. And he left.
So we cut to Minhyuk buying some chocolate, and he goes back to the office, and it seems like Minhyuk is missing Bong Soon because he keeps looking at her little house thing. So he calls Mr. Gong in, and there's, like, this really funny scene where Minhyuk is talking about, like, how much he misses someone, but he doesn't specifically say who, but we can kind of infer that he's talking about Bong Soon. But it seems like Mr. Gong is, like, interpreting it as like, him. Yeah, oh, you missed me, and like, oh, like, you mean a lot to me, blah, blah, blah. And so it's just really, it's really awkward and funny. It's like a classic sitcom, like, misunderstanding.
It's situation. A Frasier episode.
Yes, definitely.
Almost every Frasier episode was a misunderstanding.
Or, like, someone
people,
heard
like, mishearing something. They hear, like, the tail end of something.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Or, like, hijinks, like, someone found out a lie about someone, so you're hiding.
Yes.
Hiding information. But I love Frasier.
Me too.
So good. Niles is my fave. And Eddie.
Eddie Spaghetti.
So where are we? Talking about Mr. Bong. Okay.
Back at the hospital, I think.
Oh, well,
he
anyway,
ends up giving,
basically, Minhyuk is, like, missing Bong Soon, and is like, this is awkward, because I've just, like, bared my soul to Mr. Gong. So he gets frustrated, and then ends up giving the chocolate he bought for White Day to Mr. Gong. So...
Cute.
Yeah, it's sweet, but it looks even more like, oh, Minhyuk might be gay, and he might have a crush on, me. So, back at the hospital, we see Bongki, Bong Soon, and Gukdu in Kyung Shim's room. So, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So, she tells Gukdu, she meaning Kyung Shim, tells Gukdu what happened and how she's alive thanks to Bong Soon, and he's like, what? Because he has a very low opinion of Bong Soon. Kyung Shim almost spills the beans about Bong Soon, like, well, she saved me because she's super strong. But then Bong Soon squeezes her hand, And Kyung-shim is like, oh, yeah. And so she tells Guk-do, he ran away because she screamed really loud. And they're like, what? And Bong Soon is like, yeah, I actually screamed really loud. Like, the loudest I've ever screamed.
So
or something
stupid.
like that. Yeah. And it kind of seems like he doesn't believe her, but it's, like, plausible enough to where, like, he can't really question it. But it just doesn't seem quite right. So then we get another, like, creepy scene of the kidnapper being, like, a creep and scary. I don't have a lot of adjectives right now.
He's just gross.
Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. So he's in his little underground prison, and we see his injury from Bong Soon. Like, he's cut up. Also, he has abs, so there's that.
He's cut, but she hit him hard, but not hard enough to knock him out. But every other dude she hits, he, like, knocks out. Or can't move. And I'm like, you didn't use enough power on him?
Yeah.
But you did on Mr. Gong?
Yeah, kicked him into a wall.
The fuck? She really doesn't know how to use her powers.
Oh, also...
all that strength.
Side note, my mom has been listening to the podcast, and she started watching Bong Soon. And she really likes it, but she got to the chicken fight part, and she said that her students play that game all the time. So, it's a thing, I guess.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone get thrown into a wall?
I don't think so.
Back at the hospital, Guk-do is, yet again, pissed at Bong Soon. And he gets after her for not using the emergency bracelet. But it's like, was she going to hit it, or were you going to magically appear?
Yeah.
You know?
This isn't like a...
This was an immediate thing.
Yeah.
She couldn't just, like, hide behind a wall and like, just wait for him.
Come get me.
Yeah.
Before he takes my friend.
It's not gonna fucking work.
Yeah.
So he's pissed about it for some reason. Even though she's fine, her friend is fine. He gets worried about how many times the kidnapper has seen her face and suggests that maybe she should stay at Min-hyuk's house for a while so she can hide. And she tells him not to worry since she is good at something. He doesn't believe her and tells her to hide at Min-hyuk's house. And then yet again, in the hospital area, the feces wine is brought up by Bong Soon's mom, and Kyung-shim says she'd rather die than drink it. And I agree. Same.
So, I feel like we should make a drinking game for Strong Girl Bong Soon, because there's a lot of repetitive... Guk-do yells at someone.
Yes.
So here we are again. Guk-do goes to see Min-hyuk in his office and asks if Bong Soon can stay at his house. So they keep taking jabs at each other, and we learn that Min-hyuk is actually the same age as Bong Soon and Guk-do, but he wants to keep that a secret from Bong Soon. I guess because, like, in Korea they have, like, the format, like, the formal speaking and stuff, and I think he doesn't maybe want Bong Soon to know that he is as young as she is, so he can maintain some sort of, like, hierarchy. Control. Yeah. But Guk-do is like, nah, fam. Don't stop being a dick to me. Like, stop thinking you can, whatever. Lord over me, or what? Is that a phrase? I don't know.
It's late.
It is.
We've had a long work day and other stuff, and it's late.
Yeah. I don't know if you can tell.
Sense.
But anyway, yeah.
I know what you mean, though.
He's like, not overbearing. Yeah, anyway. Just, he's being a dick. And Guk-do's not here for it. So, after Guk-do leaves, Min-hyuk thinks that Guk-do might also have a thing for Bong Soon, since he's so concerned about her.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah, maybe because he's like, I'm a guy, and I wouldn't go through all this trouble if, like, I didn't care for this girl. So Guk-do calls Bong Soon later that night and tells her he'll always be there for her and to make sure she's safe, and that he has made sure that the police will be patrolling near her house. So the next day, he picks her up to take her to work, and she is, like, so excited.
Super giddy.
It's almost like she's getting ready for their first date or something in her head.
Or, like, he's taking her to school at, like, 15, 16 years old or something.
So she comes out of her house, and she's looking really cute, and Guk-do yells at her again. And when I say yell, he's actually, like, yelling at her. Like, his voice is raised, and he's like, Bong Soon, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's aggressive.
For, like, really not important things.
Yeah.
Or things that concern him.
Yeah.
In this case.
I'm not using the word yell, like... Lightly. He's actually yelling. So so this was kind of an iconic scene in this drama based on the internet. So he yells at her for wearing a short skirt and makeup. She asks if she looks weird, and he says, "Don't look so pretty." That's, like, one of the iconic lines from this. Like, I saw a clip of them, like, promoting the show, because I guess in Korea, like, or I guess in the US too, like, the stars will, like, make little appearances to promote the show, like, hey, keep watching. And that was one of the things where the girls were like, say the line. And he goes, don't look so pretty.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So Bong Soon is thrilled when she hears this. Yeah.
So happy.
But again, I'm like, bro, I don't find that romantic at all.
Yeah, I mean, he just yelled at you for wearing makeup.
Yeah.
And a skirt. It wasn't even that short.
No.
For being honest.
No. Especially, like, in Korean standards.
Korean fashion.
But, yeah. I mean, really the only romantic part of that line is that he called her pretty. But, I don't know. Some people have different tastes, I guess. So, Min-hyuk sees Guk-joo drop her off at the office and gets all jealous and is shocked at how giddy Bong Soon is acting all morning. And it's kind of funny because I feel like Bong Soon is kind of forcing the issue with Guk-joo. Like, at the office when Guk-joo drops her off, she's trying to do the, like, no, you go first. You go first thing. And, like, she is playing into it so hard. And Guk-joo's kind of is, kind of isn't.
Yeah.
And I love Min-hyuk. Like, his reactions, like, what the fuck?
This is some bullshit.
I feel like he's me, because I'm, like, not about that.
His eyes roll out of his head.
Yeah. So, he tells Bong Soon that she should stay with him since Guk-joo told them both, and that's what they should do. Bong Soon agrees and says how it's so sweet that Guk-joo worries for her. I'm like, okay. Min-hyuk looks shocked and annoyed at how crazy Bong Soon is being. Yeah.
Agreed. We then cut to Bong Soon's mom packing her overnight bags with sexy underwear. She praises Guk-joo for coming up with the idea that Bong Soon should stay at the CEO's house. Obviously, she's super excited. Bong Soon's dad, on the other hand, is upset with her mom because she just wants Bong Soon to sleep with Min-hyuk so fucking bad. And it's like, lay off your kid. Like, what a weird fucking thing to want your child to do. No matter what age.
Yeah.
It's just weird and uncomfortable.
And because it's one thing, like, if you're wanting them to, like, get married or be in a relationship, which is already kind of crossing the line. But, yeah, for her to just be like, I want her to, like, fuck him, and then maybe she'll get pregnant and lock him down. Like, it's the freaking 1700s or something.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
While this is all going on, police are still running into dead ends. Nothing's going on there. Guk-joo's boss wants to keep the investigation quiet so that the media doesn't get involved and impede their work. I don't know what work, though, because, again, they haven't found shit.
Yeah,
but they're just trying to keep it all on the down low.
Yeah, and, happening. Like, people keep, like, I think other police officers kind of keep coming in and out of the investigation, and it's kind of a clusterfuck, so it's not great. So, back at Min-hyuk's place, Bong Soon is super embarrassed when they see what her mom packed for them. So I guess, like, we get a shot earlier of Mr. Gong driving to Bong Soon's house, and, like, the mom, like, packing up the car with him and stuff, and she's like, just make sure they sleep in this blanket, ha ha. Like, so awkward. But anyway, so
weird.
Yeah, so we cut then to, like, the two seeing, I guess, the guest bedroom with all of Bong Soon's stuff. And there are these little ducks sitting on top of the blankets. Did you see them? So apparently this is a typical gift for newlyweds. Like these little wooden ducks.
Interesting.
And I think my grandma or my Haimoni had ducks like that at her house. I never knew what they were, but... so that's another little hint. Like, I got your ducks.
Go Bell. You're not married yet.
So then there's another really awkward moment when Bong Soon moves a bag and then lingerie falls out. And she, like, tries to hide it quickly, but Min-hyuk doesn't know what to do because they clearly both saw it. And I think he says something along the lines of, your mom has good taste. It's very pretty. Awkward. Just pretend you didn't see it. That's my...
Yeah. Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, pretend you were blind for 5 seconds.
Yeah, like... Some things just don't need to be said.
No.
You don't need to make a comment about every single thing that happens in life.
Especially when it's an uncomfortable thing. Just leave it alone.
So later that night, he gets up because he can't sleep, and he's just kind of like pacing around. And then we cut to Bong Soon's room, and she's talking to Kyung Shim on the phone. So Bong Soon is worried about her, but Kyung Shim and Bong Soon's mom are more excited that Bong Soon is staying at the CEO's house. And back in the neighborhood, the old gangster guys are patrolling the neighborhood and being, like, really aggressive and dumb and kind of scary. Like, the only thing that makes them not look like criminals is they're wearing, like, these pink vests.
But they're, like, running up to girls late at night.
Yeah.
And saying, like, can I take you home? And you're walking around late at night. It's scary out here. Can I drive you home? Can I take you home?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Jesus.
Yeah, like, I'll ask you if I need help.
Yeah.
But I probably even won't because
you're just as fucking creepy.
Yeah. I don't want anyone to know I'm vulnerable. So, yeah. It's real fucking dumb.
Yeah, I don't like it. Bong Soon has a dream that the kidnapper will try to take Kyung Shim, and she can't go back to sleep. So she gets out of bed, walks around the neighborhood, and then we see someone's following her, and she kind of feels it and sees them too. And in the end, it ends up being Min-hyuk. And she tells him she wants to catch the kidnapper and start using her full strength. They go home, but as soon as they get home, Guk-joo comes all flustered and says he's going to be staying there too. And then it's the end of the episode.
End of it. Dun, dun, dun. I like the music that they play at the end.
I don't remember what plays at the end there.
I'm a superpower.
Oh, the super. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
I feel like I want to, like, kind of, like, air punch.
Little kicks.
Totally.
Yeah, that's a fun song.
So, what'd you think of episode 5?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it because there was the intense scene with her friend and actually somebody she knows in danger that she's having to save.
Yeah, and we're kind of, like, getting a turning point for Bong Soon because she's, like, starting to kind of openly use her her strength.
Yeah, I think she's starting to realize, like, you're not going to get an insane disease if you use it for good, it seems. Just some of the women in your family have used it for stupid reasons, and it's fucked them up.
Yes.
Gotta be smart.
Gotta be smart. So, episode 6. It is entitled Happy Together. Not able to trust one another overnight, Bong Soon, Min-hyuk, and Guk-joo decide to play games instead, evoking the two men's competitive spirits. So, episode 6 starts right where episode 5 ended.
They love to do that in K-dramas.
Yeah, so if you didn't watch the previous episode, you have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
But you can catch up quickly. So Min-hyuk gets annoyed that Guk-joo is there and tells Guk-joo he shouldn't have let him take Bong Soon if he, Guk-joo, was just going to come and get her anyway. So it's kind of complicated, but Min-hyuk is like, hey, you should leave because you told me to, like, let her stay here. So you're just being dumb. Bong Soon is so enamored by Guk-joo that she stops paying attention to Min-hyuk and only has eyes for Guk-joo. So Min-hyuk is, like, the voice of reason between these three a lot of the times, I think. So we cut to the police station, and the other cops are like, what the fuck? Where's Guk-joo? Sorry, I'm swearing a lot. I'm kind of tired. And
I know, I'm, like, closing one eye.
I hear myself swearing a lot, and I'm like, hey, reel it in. Okay, so the other cops are like, where's Guk-joo? And at the hospital, we see two of the police officers trying to figure out what type of mask the kidnapper is wearing.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly mask.
And I thought, like, Kyungshin gave them good intel, but the police officers were
They're
being
showing
dumb.
her the stupidest mask.
They're, like, Renaissance.
They're, like, nothing.
Or
like what she would have described.
Because she described it really well. She said it's, like, a full face mask, and it looks like it's turned inside out.
Mm-hmm.
She says that at one point.
And then it's bald.
Yeah, it's bald, and it looks like he doesn't have a face. Like, that's a very good description of what she's seeing.
And it looks like latex, too.
Yeah. Ugh, fucking creepy.
It's gross. It looks like it's one of those masks that smells.
Yeah. Like plastic and sweat.
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah. So Bong Soon's mom has some funny insight that the kidnapper must be ugly since he wears a mask. And if he were attractive, he would be more confident and let his face be shown.
And she also said something like, notice he doesn't go into the cameras or something. So he doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
And he's ugly.
Bong Soon's mom is so, like, superficial. It's funny. But, anyway.
Back at Min Hyuk's house, Gukdu is trying to figure out what is going on between them. Bong Soon freaks out when Gukdu suggests that he just sleep with Min Hyuk and blurts out that he's gay, so no, you shouldn't. Min Hyuk gets annoyed and tells Gukdu that she is his bodyguard. And Gukdu's like, no. What?
They're just spilling tea all over the place.
Yeah, left and right, but, like, none of it makes sense.
Yeah.
And he obviously doesn't believe this. He suggests that they sleep separately, but then we get little scenes of what each person is afraid will happen if they sleep separately. So the boys are worried that the other boy will go to Bong Soon and, like, kiss her or whatever. And then Bong Soon is worried that Min Hyuk will go to Gukdu. It's a really stupid scene of, like, everyone's imagination is, like, totally wild.
Little hearts behind that.
It's so stupid. So they end up deciding that they'll just stay awake all night, which, no, that sounds awful. That sounds worse than any of those visions.
They should do what they did in Romance as a Bonus Book, where they can all sleep, like, in the living room. Yes. They just tie rope to each other.
Yeah, it was the two guys tied up, and then she was in the bed.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. So they decide to just stay awake. They go to a billiards bar, and Min Hyuk teases Gukdu for being bad at pool. Gukdu looks annoyed. They end up playing darts, and then he wins, and he teases Min Hyuk for not being very good at it. And during this whole thing, poor little Bong Soon is just so fucking bored, sitting there alone, just staring at them, tired as fuck, like us two right now. And she doesn't know what to do. And then also the boys are drinking the whole time, and they don't let her drink.
Yeah.
Some bodyguards, these two.
I know.
They're both talking about protecting her, and they're just, like, playing games.
Inebriated. Yeah. Not a good look. Also, it, like, really sucks being the one sober person, which I know you are a lot because you don't really drink.
Yeah.
So you're probably, like, the one sober person when I'm acting dumb.
No. I don't ever think you're acting stupid.
Oh, thanks.
I've seen other people, I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
When I drink, I mostly just get even more giddy, and I like to dance, and I like to lay down. So, that's my style.
You just get sleepy.
I'm like, party, 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 in my own way, and then I'm like, okay, let's go to sleep. It's
like that earlier episode when she stays at his house and they decide to play the VR and she's like kicking his ass and having fun. She's like, okay, good night.
Yes.
It just knocks out.
That is even more me when I drink.
Nice.
So, Bong Soon's parents are keeping Kyungshin company at the hospital.
So sweet of them.
I know. Their little family dynamic kind of reminds me of, like, me and my mom and my friend Danielle when we were in high school. Because my mom, like, Danielle and I were always at each other's houses. And so, like, I am pretty close to my mom. So it would always be, like, me and my mom and then, like, Danielle. So it's kind of like Bong Soon, her mom, and Kyungshin.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it reminds me of. So they... So they get into the fight about how Bong Soon is staying at the CEO's house. And Bong Soon's mom tries to justify it by being like, well, he's gay, so we don't really have to worry about it. But I'm just saying, like, if it can happen, like, maybe it could happen.
Yeah.
But then Kyung-shin says for, like, the 100th time that he's not gay. And Bong Soon's dad freaks out even more.
And I like how at that point her mom just ignores him and he's like, "You think so too? you saw him too?"
Yeah. Like giving her like a little glimmer of hope. So the boys get super drunk. Side note.
Cute.
Yeah, this is back to moms not thinking people are gay or stuff. So I had a friend in middle school, and I won't name names, but no one I know probably will listen to this. But I was going to go to the movies with this boy, and I was nervous that like he may have thought it was a date because we were friends. And my mom was like, "Well, it's not a date because he's gay." And I was like, "No, I don't think he's gay, Mom." And yes, it turned out he was gay, but like my mom had better gaydar than me. And I should have known because he was like, "We should go see Elizabethtown with Orlando Bloom."
Yeah, okay, and Kirsten Dunst?
Yeah.
I think I only saw part of that movie.
It's not very good.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember it.
Yeah, but in hindsight, I'm like, yes, this boy was totally like a little gay boy in middle school, but I was like, I hope he doesn't think he's a date. It's not like it's a date.
I don't want to date him.
Yeah.
I'm too young.
So anyway, that's talking about moms having gaydar. Anyway, back to the boys. They're super drunk and they're like passed out on a pool table. Bong Soon gets annoyed and carries them out like little babies almost. She leaves them on the sidewalk so she can like run into a convenience store and get them drinks to sober up. And I like how she just kind of like dumps Minhyuk.
I know. It's fucked up.
I
She's
know.
like real kind to Gukdu.
When again, like Minhyuk has been nothing but nice to her. I mean, okay, again,
Joking,
teasing,
picking on her, whatever. But he's not yelling at her.
No, and he's
treating her like a child.
He's let her stay at his very nice house multiple times.
He bought her ice cream.
He kind of took a bullet for her when she's supposed to be his bodyguard. I mean, he's, you know...
I don't think he deserves to just be thrown on the ground like that.
No.
I don't think either of them should be thrown on the ground.
No, they should both be propped up nicely. But especially considering the fact that she wants to work for him, not as a bodyguard, but like as her dream job.
Yeah.
She's very short-sighted.
Yeah.
She didn't catch the kidnapper. She's not thinking about her long-term career.
Yeah, she thinks of everything just in that moment. And what she wants.
Come on, Bong Soon. Gotta get it together. So, anyway, the two boys are like, you know, basically passed out on the sidewalk at this point. And a couple of like jerks try to rob them, and they're like, "Oh, hey, passed out dudes, like easy targets." So Bong Soon catches them, and like again, this fucking show. I like it, but they're basically when Bong Soon is alone, it just shows these men like being creeps to her and like hitting her on the head
and like making comments, like kind of sexual comments about her.
Yeah, like, "Oh, you're really brave." Like, as in a woman should always be afraid to be alone. Like, that just reinforces, like, you know, this, like, patriarchal, like, scary society that women live in. Because we shouldn't even feel comfortable walking alone at night. Like, awesome. But anyway,
great.
Bong Soon beats them up because they suck.
And she can.
So, yeah, she, like, beats them up. I think one of them flies into a trash can, etc.
That's what she should have done to the kidnapper.
Pushed him into it. And then, like, crunched the trash can a little bit so that he was stuck in there.
Get out,
So all the while, this, like, the creepy Botox-filled gang leader guy sees, and he's like, "Oh, wow. She's strong. This is intense." So she drives the boys home and plops them on the couch, and again, she's nicer to Gukdu. She, like, gives him a pillow and
really tucks him in.
Yeah. And we see all the different groups patrolling Bong Soon's neighborhood. So we see, like, the dudes in the pink vests. We see the women. We see the cops. Like, everyone is on high alert. But then we see a car following a woman after she leaves work at a store. So,
yes.
The creeps are everywhere.
Yes. Back at the house, Min-hyuk wakes up and sees that Bong Soon basically tucked Guk-do in on the couch. He was just thrown on the floor, without a blanket or anything. And he gets pissed. He pulls his blanket off of Guk-do and is like, that's my fucking blanket.
Yeah.
And he takes the pillow, too. And then he thinks about his dream from earlier in the series of the girl in the pink hoodie who stopped that bus that he was on. And he's like, oh, like, I almost saw her face, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think it's a recurring dream for him.
Yeah, he wants to know who she is. So he goes to check on Bong Soon, and he kind of thinks, was that her in the pink hoodie? And he's like, no, it couldn't have been. Kind of just throws it away for the moment. And then the next morning, we see Bong Soon's mom bring Kyung-shim breakfast, and she keeps referring to Min-hyuk as her future son-in-law. And this annoys Bong Soon's dad, who's super funny. He's giving ugly looks. He's not happy. Kyung-shim. I couldn't say her name. Kyung-shim tells that Guk-do ended up staying at his house as well. So all three of them were there, and her mom obviously is like, what the fuck, Guk-do? God damn it.
Yeah.
You had this amazing idea, and then you ruined it. God.
Yeah, I think she makes a comment, like, earlier, like, oh, he's so smart, unlike his mom. And then she's like, of course, like...
Just like his mom.
Just like his mom, coming up with stupid ideas.
She's not a huge fan of Guk-do, it seems.
No.
Bong Soon makes breakfast for the boys, and it's a nice spread of different things. We see that the chopstick has turned into a little Korean flag, which is cute. Bong Soon fakes being weak to get Guk-do to open a jar of jelly, for which she shocks Min-hyuk. And me too, I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Open the fucking jar, Bong Soon. Like,
it's dumb.
Some girls are strong enough to open one, you know? Like, come on.
Yeah. It was funny. The other day, I couldn't open a jar of salsa, and I was like, I try really hard, and then I asked Alex, and he kind of did the whole, like, okay, yeah, like, it kind of, like, pumped him up a little bit, but then he couldn't open it either.
That's happened with Andrew and I. I don't remember what we were trying to open. Might have been salsa, too.
Yeah, so it was just, like bang it on the counter.
Back and forth, and, like, under hot water. I'm like, can't get this fucking thing open.
Yeah, after he banged it on the counter a few times, like, we were able to get it open. But it's just so funny when, like, you give it to a guy, and they're like, okay, it's my time to shine.
And no,
pretty much.
Not today.
Yeah.
So while they're kind of having this breakfast, Guk-do straight up asks Min-hyuk if he's actually gay. But Min-hyuk refuses to answer, then acts a little flamboyant. Which is funny.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to answer that. Like, my word.
That's such a personal question. They all agree that none of them should be left alone together. And Bong Soon brings up how when the boys got super drunk, Guk-do started sexy dancing with Min-hyuk, and Min-hyuk started doing it back to him. And apparently Guk-do almost kisses Min-hyuk, but Bong Soon broke everything up. Then they passed out on the pool table together. And I don't know if she's lying about it.
Oh, yeah.
That was my thing. Like, we saw them laying on the pool table earlier, knocked out and kind of hugging. But that also happened in Romance. It's a bonus book. When the two guys were laying next to each other.
True.
They were kind of, like, hugging and, like, whatever.
Cuddling.
Yeah. But, like, the sexy dancing was just, like, weird and cringy. Like,
it was another why, though.
Yeah, Andrew and I were watching. I was like, no, what is happening? Why are they dancing like that?
I had never thought that she was lying. This is an interesting take.
Yeah, I felt like she doesn't want them together at all for anything to happen. And I kind of, like, because she thinks he's gay. And she really thinks he's gay.
Yeah, and, like, she has had, like, daydreams about these two boys being gay together. So
she doesn't want it to happen. And I didn't know, like, if they actually did that or if she fucking made up a story to freak mostly Guk-do out into not wanting to be alone with him.
That is an excellent theory.
I don't know.
Spoiler alert, it never comes up again, so...
Okay, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Okay.
But that makes more, like, narrative sense. Because, yeah, it's, like,
I can't see the two of them suddenly sexy dancing
Yeah,
together.
The sexy dancing is weird. I could maybe see, like, almost kissing. Because, like, if they're, like, sleepy and cuddling and, like, they're a little disoriented, kissing makes more sense to me. But, like, Gukju being the one to initiate
the way he just got up. And I don't know, like, their dances were ridiculous, too. I think I asked Andrew, why is Minhyuk dancing like a dinosaur? He has like T-Rex arms for some reason. It was so weird.
Yeah, and then he's like kind of kicking. He's almost like T-Rex Elaine dancing.
Yes, it was so fucking strange. Like, it just didn't seem like dances that would actually happen, even if they were drunk as shit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed like something from her imagination.
This is true. Also because Bong Soon's kind of like naive in that way. So, okay, let's go with that.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I like...
Producers, writers, please email us.
I like that interpretation.
Cool. Okay, we'll go with that then. So, yeah, the boys end up being super embarrassed and they kind of don't want to look at each other. They start eating their breakfast and it's super spicy, but Bong Soon is only nice to Gukju about everything. And they're both trying to play it off like it's not very spicy, but they're both kind of dying from it. And side note, when we were in Chicago at our friend's place, we had bought some fried rice from a place and like had leftovers. And I had it the next night and it was like okay fried rice. It's like kind of bland though. Like it's not like Chonko where it's like super spicy and delicious. And they had some hot sauce in the fridge. It's like, maybe I just put a little bit of hot sauce. It'll be better. And it was a ghost pepper one. I've never had that before.
Oh, God.
And I put, like, a little smidge, and I, like, mixed it up and was like, oh, this is hot. Like, it doesn't add, like, a lot of flavor to it, but it's, like, has some spice. And then we sat down and we were, like, watching something and eating it. And it's like, I looked at Andrew at one point, he's like, your whole face is red. Like, he said I look like a strawberry.
Oh, God.
And, like, I could not get it to stop burning. And I was just, like, putting the fucking napkin on my tongue. Like, it hurt so much. It was so bad. It made me feel very sick. And I will never have fucking ghost pepper sauce again.
No.
It was gross.
I don't mess with habanero. I don't mess with ghost pepper.
Yeah, normally, like, I'm usually fine with a hot sauce, but that was like, you can't even enjoy the fucking food.
No, yeah. I have a semi-good spice tolerance. I would say I probably tolerate more spice than the average American, but I'm definitely not a Korean spicy person. Like, Koreans make food really spicy. So, yeah. My grandma, or Haimani, whatever, my Korean grandma, she used to make this, like, I guess it wasn't really, like, chicken wings. It was just, like, spicy chicken. That's just what we called it. I don't know if there's a Korean name for it, but spicy chicken. And it was so good, but she would make 2 batches because my dad and my uncle really liked it, like, super, super spicy. And, like, normal people couldn't handle it. So she would have to make... And, like, you can tell how spicy it gets because it's, like, a deep red.
Like, red, yeah.
Yeah. So, yum. Spicy food. But anyway, so, on with the day. Minhyuk gets another blackmail phone call during breakfast, and he kind of, like... It's so funny. I think it's so funny when people do this in TV shows where they're like, I'm going to take a private call. But
they're
just, like,
still in the area.
5 feet away from the people so they can clearly
and
hear you.
Everyone's all...
Oh.
Staring at them, eating their food.
So, Gukju tells Minhyuk that he should talk to the police, and Gukju then gets a call that they tracked down the owner of the burner phone, so he leaves. So, once he's gone, Bong Soon and Minhyuk go back to their normal bickering selves, and, like, Minhyuk's like, why did you make it so spicy? Like, you injured me.
Again?
Yeah. I don't know. I like Minhyuk and Bong Soon together.
Yeah.
They're a cute pair. So Gukju goes undercover and they arrest a suspect. And then at the office, Mr. Gong tells Minhyuk that Osang Group stock prices are dropping because of all the tabloid rumors that Minhyuk is gay. Which is, like, really fucked up that, like, stock is dropping because the son of the, like, chairman is gay.
Like, fucking mind your own business.
I know.
What of it?
Yeah, but all of those, like, heirs and all that bullshit. It's like a big deal. But anyway, yeah. So Bong Soon feels really bad. Also because she just like outed him to Gukdu, which is also kind of fucked up. But she's like, hey, you know what? Like, all of the embarrassing videos of me disappeared, so maybe that could happen to you. Like, totally oblivious.
Stupid.
Yeah. So then Min Hyuk makes a call, and then Bong Soon realizes, like, oh, you were the one who took down the videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then she thanks him. After that settle, Min Hyuk tells Bong Soon that he found more information of the guy who stole the bike, and that he works for Big Tak Development, which is the company that the gangsters run, which is also connected to his father's company. Because again, if you remember, Min Hyuk's dad used to be kind of like a gangster dude and then switched over into like a more respectable company. But Big Tak is connected to his father's company, and Min Hyuk tells Bong Soon that the main gangster boss guy, Big Soo Tak, used to work for his dad.
That's the one with the
Botox.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Botox, but that's what it looks like.
He's got one of those faces that just doesn't seem to move.
Like, you can see his eyes widen, but, like, his eyebrows don't come up. Or his eyebrows go up a little, but, like, there's no wrinkles on his forehead.
Interesting.
So Bong Soon's like, okay, let's go find this person. Like, I love how Bong Soon's kind of always game.
Yeah.
Like, to go do something. Yeah. So on the way, they encounter a fender bender, and the guy who got rear-ended by the woman is being a real dick, and again, kind of threatening. And Min Hyuk decides...
What's with the guys on this show?
I know.
Jesus.
Fuck? So, Min Hyuk and Bong Soon are kind of watching, and Min Hyuk is like, okay, like, I'm gonna step in. This is too much. But then he realizes that Bong Soon has already gone to help the woman. And the man keeps being a jerk until Min Hyuk steps in. So Bong Soon, like, told him to, like, back down or whatever, but he
didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. So the guy ends up leaving, and while Min Hyuk is talking to the woman, he realizes that Bong Soon snuck into the jerk's car and starts to follow them. And I like how, Min Hyuk is, like, trying to be sweet to, like, the lady who got rear-ended, like, it'll be okay. And then he was like, where's Bong Soon?
Yep.
She's always disappearing.
I know. She's quick. Sneaky. The guy pulls over, and he keeps being a creep because he realized that she was in the backseat. She tells him off for not listening to women and only respecting another man. And then she kind of, like, somehow, I don't know how she does it exactly, what she does, but she manages to spin his car so it makes like 100 donuts, and it's just spinning ridiculously fast, and it looks so silly. She starts to walk away when she realizes Min Hyuk saw her, and he's a little bit more afraid of her now. But he's also like, damn, she's cool.
Yeah.
He's like terrified, like, what the fuck? What is she? But then he's also like,
okay,
she's strong. I like that.
She's a strong girl. Bong Soon.
Bong Soon, you're a strong girl.
Yeah. Also, because I think Min Hyuk also likes that, like, she stands up for what she believes in. Like, she's kind of growing into her self.
When she sees someone doing something wrong, she wants to help and right the wrong.
Yeah.
That's why I think he was so taken aback when she pretended like she couldn't open a fucking jar.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're so incredible, like, you're so strong, and you're special, and you're pretending to be something
like
to impress this person or to, like, make this person feel a certain way. Silly. Especially for, like, a 28-year-old. Is that how old she is?
Oh, yeah, I think they're in their, like, mid to late 20s.
The police at this point are interrogating the guy that they arrested earlier, but then they realize he's not the right guy. And they find video footage of the kidnapper leaving with the woman, and one of the cops says it's probably the same guy as the fake doctor. So at this point, it's been 5 people, right, that he's kidnapped?
I think it's still like 4. Well, he murdered 1 person, 2 abducted. 2 abducted, and then it's just Kyungshin. But we've seen him kind of, like, lurking.
He followed the girl. He didn't take her yet.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with that girl yet.
Okay. So, yeah, they're still dealing with the other 2 kidnapped girls then. And they're thinking it's probably the same guy as the fake doctor from earlier on. Then we cut back to Min Hyuk and Bong Soon, and they're talking as the sun sets, and Min-hyuk calls her a tiny King Kong, which I loved.
It's so cute.
You noted that you loved that too. Yeah, I thought it was super cute. And she opens up and tells him that the super strength is passed down to all the women in the family. And Min-hyuk offers to train her so that she can use her power to the fullest extent and be more evolved with the power. It's totally turning into like a superhero movie at this point. A super romantic song plays as they look at the ocean and the sunset.
Aw.
Yeah.
So sweet. I love how he, like, before he calls her a tiny King Kong, he, like, explains the plot of King Kong.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And then she's like, so you're the heroine and I'm King Kong? And then he called, yeah, it's so cute. So then we see Gukdu and Heeji meet up. That's his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Not for long. Not if Bonky has anything to do with it.
Right? So she ends up telling him that she's not sure if they should stay together since she might have feelings for someone else. Mm-hmm. Gukdu, you made this happen, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You introduced them.
Present. He's not present either.
And he's like, not fun to be around.
No.
So Bong Soon calls Gukdu and tells him not to worry about her. He says that he won't be able to check on her, but even if she's strong, he will worry about her. Yeah, I don't know. It's just... Bong Soon and Gukdu have this thing where it's like, I care about you, but like... don't worry about me. It's kind of just...
a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
They're almost
of
like...
getting nowhere.
Yeah, they're almost like really good friends or like a brother and sister vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Where they like argue a little bit. Like he thinks little of her. Like she's weak. He needs to take care of her. He needs to protect her as if she's like his sister or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's also kind of annoying that like Gukdu doesn't believe that Bong Soon could be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Min-hyuk is very, like, open to everything Bong Soon is. Like, he just kind of takes her for who she is. And Gukdu, I guess, has these, like, preconceived notions that, of course, Bong Soon has played into. Like, earlier that day, she pretended to not be able to open a jar. But, I don't know. But I think she does that because she knows, like, that's what he likes.
That's what he wants.
So... I don't know. It's kind of fucked up. So Min-hyuk takes Bong Soon to another family dinner later that night and tells his family that they live together so that he doesn't have to get set up by his father. Because again, the gay rumors are spreading and the family wants to, like, you know, stop those. So he tells his family that they'll get married soon and they'll probably have a son. And Bong Soon is like, what? Say what now? Mm-hmm. So on the way home, they get into a fight about the fact that Min-hyuk said they would get married, and then Bong Soon's mom calls and keeps trying to get her to sleep with him.
Because right before, she's like, if my mom heard this, my mom would be so mad.
Uh-huh.
She'd be so disappointed. This is not what she wants, blah, blah, blah. And then her mom's like, did you bang him?
Yeah.
Did you do it?
She's like, and then she's just like, do it. Do it.
God,
like, you can do it.
Wild.
Mm-hmm. So the next morning, Min-hyuk wakes up Bong Soon with a whistle to start training. He looks like a little coach guy. He takes her rock climbing and running with tires behind her back like she's a freaking football player. Mm-hmm. But she's already super strong. So
and we've established that. Like, you've seen it on multiple occasions, dude.
Yeah. It seems like she just needs to work on her cardio. Mm-hmm. Like, she was not good at running. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. So he can't believe it. Like, how strong she is.
Yeah. We see Bong Soon's mom and her friends gossip about Bong Soon, the creepy gangster guy, and Gukdu's mom. They love to talk shit about his mom. Then we cut to Gukdu's mom in the cafe with Bong Soon's dad, and he's like, clearly, he's got a thing for her. Mm-hmm. He's always swooning over her in her books. Very sweet with her. Mm-hmm. And she's sweet back, I think. But I don't know if she's just being polite or what.
Yeah.
And then at the police station, they're going over more evidence, and the chief picks up on the fact that Gukdu got dumped. He's kind of down on himself. Mm-hmm. They're all kind of talking behind his back. Gukdu takes down Bong Soon's statement from when Kyung-shim was attacked, and she gives him a little information and how he smelled. And so she's talking about the oil, is it oil and rust? Uh-huh. Yeah, the oil and rust smell. And how he looked, but she lies about the fact that she beat him up. And just says, again, that she screamed really loudly. sticking to her lies.
Mm-hmm.
After the interview, Gukdu tells Bong Soon that Heejee, is that how you say it?
I think so.
Heejee broke up with him, but he's not hurt by it. Bong Soon comforts him and tells him she'll probably come back to him. He starts to look at her romantically and asks why they're friends, but then tells her to be careful and lock the door at Minhyuk's house and to be wary of Minhyuk because he's definitely not gay. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to me that, like, Bong Soon is like, your girlfriend will probably come back to you. Because to me, I'm like, if she really wanted to be with him...
She wouldn't have broken up with him.
No, like, if Bong Soon really wanted to be with him,
yeah,
she could have slid right in there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, I'm always here for you.
Yeah.
But she didn't do that. So
she also said something mean about Heejee, too. Before, like, right as he said that she broke up with him, or right before, I don't remember what she said. I was like, damn, Bong Soon.
Savage.
Yeah, I don't remember what she said.
Yeah, I didn't write it down. But, yeah, Bong Soon is clearly not a fan of Heejee, but I guess she doesn't want Gukdu to be sad. So, the older gang guys are being creepy, and they ran into Bong Soon's high school hoodlums, and they have a funny little standoff because it's really sweet. Like, the little high school kids are, like, going around picking up trash and, like...
They've learned their lesson.
Keeping the neighborhood looking clean. And the, like, creepy gangster guys, I think he spit out some gum or whatever. But the high school kids are, like, super confident because they know they have Bong Soon on their side. So they're like, you can't do shit to me. Like, it's funny. So then the gangsters start being weird with a woman again, like you said earlier, and then an old lady steps in and beats them up. We cut to the pharmacy, and we see a man buying medication for headaches and sleeping pills. The pharmacist says that they should go to church together to cure his insomnia. So we can kind of pick up on the fact that this guy has been to this pharmacist a few times for the same medications. Then we cut back to the bakery, and we see that the old lady is Bong Soon's grandma. Back at the creepy kidnapper's place, he gets upset looking at the pipe, and he goes down to the dungeon area and tells the second bride that he'll find her a friend soon. And he takes off his mask, and we see that it's the guy from the pharmacy. And also, he maybe rapes her, ?
Possibly? I don't know.
Oh, that was so creepy, right?
He's gross.
Because he's like, oh, you're lonely. I'll find you a friend. And then he takes off the mask, and he, like, ruffles his hair, and then he, like, starts approaching her on the bed. Ugh.
Yeah, he's
so
gross.
Terrible.
Gross.
Then we cut back to Minhyuk, and he's thinking of Big Talk, the creepy gangster guy, and how they're related to everything. And that's kind of what we're wondering, too.
Yeah,
like,
what's happening?
Why are these people in this story? Then we see the kidnapper take another woman, and someone breaks into Minhyuk's house with a knife. End of episode!
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see who has that knife.
Yeah.
Bong Soon better wake up.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't write this down, but, like, they tried to open Bong Soon's door, but it was locked.
And at first, it seems like it was him trying to open her door.
Minhyuk?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because Gukdu told her, like, he's definitely not gay, so lock your door. I don't really have any predictions. I don't know what's going to happen.
How have you felt about the drama so far?
I like it. It has a lot of silly moments, but it also has a lot of intense moments. There's just a lot.
It's a lot to take in, yeah.
And there's also so many, like, mini stories happening throughout. But it's fun. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of laugh out loud moments.
I felt like Romance as a Bonus book was, like, pretty straightforward. Whereas this is, like, I can't keep track of everything.
Yeah.
Like, but it's really fun. And my mom started watching it, and she loves it. And she was like, I can't believe I waited so long to start this. It's awesome. So I think it's funny. But, yeah, there's a lot happening. So I don't want to spoil anything because obviously I know how it ends.
Yeah, you know everything.
But, yeah. So we can just move right along to fashion.
Yes.
Yes, God!
And I don't have much fashion that I remember. I did really like that play sweater.
Mm-hmm. And Bong Soon wears a lot of, like, frilly collars.
Ruffly
yeah,
things.
I really like those.
Mm-hmm.
They look really cute on her. I liked her outfit when Gukdu picks her up, when he tells her, like, don't look so pretty. It's, like, a tweed sweater, jacket thing, a yellow sweater, and then, like, a chambray frilly ruffle neck shirt. It's cute.
Yeah. She's usually dressed pretty cute, I think.
Mm-hmm. Bong Soon is one of those characters where you can tell she's dressed kind of, like, quirky, like, because if you see Heejee, Gukdu's girlfriend, she's always dressed, like, kind of classy.
Yes.
And maybe more, like, a professional age appropriate.
Yeah, she's kind of like a sort of Banana Republic.
Uh-huh.
Whereas I feel like Bong Soon is a little more playful.
Yeah, she's more like Urban Outfitters.
Yeah. Or like the fun pieces from like H&M. With like the fun prints and stuff.
Totally. So that's those girls' style profiles. But yeah, I think Gukdu. What am I saying? No, Gukdu's boring. He just wears t-shirts and jeans. Minhyuk, I don't really remember what he wore. Oh, I like that I think this is in this drama. He has a sweater that's a hoodie, but it looks like it can zip all the way up.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And I want to know if it can actually zip all the way up so that you can
probably
be, like, totally in your own hoodie.
I bet.
Like a little sleeping bag. That seems convenient for naps. Any other fashion-y bits?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, I love you moment.
I love you.
I love you. I will always love you.
I love you.
Mine is when Gukdu calls Bong Soon a little King Kong.
That's a good one. There still haven't been any big I love you moments.
No grand gestures yet.
I mean, there's the moment where he almost, like, caresses her hair
Mm-hmm.
when she's half asleep. That's kind of sweet.
But yeah, there aren't really any moments that, like, give you the, like,
cringy
but, like,
feels.
oh my
like,
God.
they love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like that yet. It's been very one-sided at this point, I feel like. Like, either Bong Soon toward Gukdu or Minhyuk toward Bong Soon.
Or Bong Soon's mom towards Minhyuk. Yeah.
Or Bong Soon's dad toward Gukdu's mom.
Or the kidnapper towards
his many brides.
So yeah, there's a lot going on in this drama. But I ended up watching another drama. It's time for other K-drama corner.
Yes.
I watched Kill It, and it's really fucking intense. I watched the whole thing because apparently there were only 12 episodes. And it's really dark. It's really intense. There's a lot of violence, and you see people use guns a lot, which is weird for Korea. In, like, the coroner in the show makes a comment like, oh, these gunshots, like, it's my first ever gunshot.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it is really interesting and kind of sad. But if you are into, like, I don't know, like, kind of dark thriller mystery things, you might like it. It's very violent. Like, you see a lot of, I don't want to call it gory, but you see people get shot. So,
all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, other than that, I think, just rate and review and,
do your thing.
Hang out with us on the internet.
Yeah, we're usually there.
Yeah. Sorry, we're so sleepy.
Yeah.
We're lacking a little bit of energy.
Yeah, we both worked today. And then
did some stuff after work. But anyway, when we're not going to be sleepy is when I'm on Twitter at OKDramaPod.
Yeah, because you'll be checking that in the morning when you wake up and well rested.
Yeah, Jill is on Instagram at OKDramaPodcast. And we're both kind of on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
OK Drama Podcast.
And the email, too.
And the email is okdramapodcast@gmail.com. So, yeah. Email us, tweet us, Instagram us, say hi, leave us a review. That would be awesome.
Review would be nice, yeah.
Yeah. We'd love it. Maybe we'll, like... You know what we should do? So, Andrew wanted to make the theme song.
Mm-hmm.
If we get, like, Twitter reviews or, like, iTunes reviews or whatever, he can, like, put their names into the song. And then we can post
or
it.
I'll have to put their name into the song because he probably won't do it.
Well, you can write the lyrics for the song.
He could do the music.
Yeah. And we can play that at our finale episode.
I like that.
So, yeah. So, leave us a review or, like, quote tweet us. And
make sure to let us know that you left a review. Because I'm still not even sure how to find the review. It's a stupid thing to say, but I have trouble finding the iTunes reviews.
Yeah, we're clearly really good podcasters.
Yeah,
but
best.
Tweet us and or email us if you want your name to be thrown in. I'm putting this project on Andrew, and he doesn't even know about it.
Yeah, you can tell him about it because I throw enough projects his way.
Okay, but yeah, we have some time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we will sleep, watch some more Bong Soon, and then see you guys next week. Bye.
Okay, drama.